So, you want to know how to overcome or start the process of overcoming the fear or your fears in dating and relationship. In part one, what do we talk about? Your 3 top fears in dating and relationships. Mine were dishonesty, of course. Then it was not being good enough and rejection. Those were my top 3 fears. You guys gave me a lot of feedback on yours, and I wish I could go into more detail and talk about them, and we will. Maybe I just do a live and we can do a Q&A to see how we can get some of those questions answered for you to start that process. But yeah, so the fears and what you're afraid of in dating relationship is so natural, right? It's natural for all of us. So now, how can we start to overcome your fears? Well, again, for mine, the first way that I learned or am learning to overcome the fear of dishonest men in relationships, or for men, dishonest women in relationships, I start to trust until they give me a reason not to. Michelle, what do you mean? It's easy to automatically block people, to have a suspicion or a speculation about people, like, there's some uncertainty there. Because one, especially when you're dating, you don't really know the person. This is the whole point of dating. You're getting to know people. You want to, learn more about them. What do they like? What do they dislike? What do they like to do? What are your hobbies? What do you do for a living? Do you have kids? Do you not have children? I mean, do you want kids? Things like that. Where do you like to vacation? It's a whole rapport building. And so you want to start it off right. You want to start off with some good communication, some good dialogue and conversations. And then, of course, to be able to trust that person. Because you don't know them, you have to build the trust. So to me, since dishonesty and the lack of trust is one of my fears, how I try to combat that is by trusting the person until they give me a reason not to. Well, you say, Michelle, that's kind of difficult because you don't know the person. My motto is this: if someone hasn't given me a reason to not trust them, I will. It's as simple as that. Now, keep in mind, using wisdom, because this is words of wisdom. Using wisdom, you do have a guide. You do have the Holy Spirit or some type of intuition that you will feel a certain way. There'll be an inkling, and it's like, something's not right. I do say listen to that feeling. You can do that over time if you're just not sure. Let's not be all in day 1 or day 2 or day 3. But try your best to take what a person says as being honest. Begin to watch their words and their actions. See if they align. That's one thing I do. I listen to what they say, and then I see and I watch to see if their actions are executed by what they say, if they fall in line together. So begin to trust until someone gives you a reason not to. Again, that could be in business relationships, friendships, partnerships, boy-girl dating relationships or whatever. But, let's not come across as being so skeptical and suspicious, like everybody's out to get us entangled in some web of deception. Let's not do that to everybody that you meet. Just let's not put the guard up so high to where we don't trust nobody, right? So begin to trust them, or listen to what they say and watch what they do. Another way to kind of overcome that dishonesty is to take part in my 4-week proven model that shows you how to watch patterns. So my model, really, the basis of it is consistency. Let me tell you guys how much I am such a pattern and behavior supervisor. I'm like a monitor. I'm like out there on security detail because people's patterns don't necessarily change that often. When they change abruptly, that sends a red flag to me. Something's not right. It could be a better change, like an improvement, or then it could be a negative change. That's what I do look for. I look for the negative. Now, if they improve or if their patterns change and it's for the positive, for example, if you have been dating this person and you're trying to, trust them and you believe what they say, you take what they say as face value, they haven't given you a reason to not trust them or to not think that they're an honest person, but then all of a sudden they stop calling you or they stop talking to you, or the texts begin to get, few far in between, and you're like, well, you used to text me like 2 or 3 times a day, daily, or will at least call, check in, see what I'm up to, da da da. If you have been dating this person, let's say a week, 2 weeks, and then boom, abruptly, there's changes, you'll take that as a sign of, okay, something's different has happened. It could be something to bring up in, casual conversation. The person could have gotten busy with work or, life, personal life, but something has happened, and that y'all are not a level to where he or she may want to talk about that or disclose it to you. You just met 2-3 weeks ago, so no one's obligated to really open up to you. But just follow away in the back of your mind. But I do have a model, and it's a month model, so about 30 days. It's a proven 4-week pattern watcher. So if you want to take part in that, you guys can reach out to me. So let's move on. How do I overcome or combat not being good enough? Well, some of the reasons why I felt like I was not good enough in dating and relationships was because I would fall really quickly, or I invest too much, because by nature, I am a giver. I am one who wants to support people, see the triumphs in people, be there to celebrate with them, all these positive vibes that I give and all these great things. So when you become invested too fast, or when you're giving a lot, the issue could be you feel like you don't measure up, or you feel like the other person is just not giving you what you're giving them, which causes a lot of doubt and insecurity. So how do you combat that? How do you kind of reduce the doubt and the feeling of not being good enough? So begin to give the same energy that person is giving. So for example, if he's calling or texting maybe twice a day, you do the same. It's okay. You're dating. You're getting to know this person. So if you're calling, texting all day, that may be a little bit much. Let's taper down, slow it down a little bit. If he's texting twice a day, he has things going on throughout his day, we're still building a rapport, getting to know each other, you do the same. If he drops away for like a few days and you don't hear anything, be okay with that. You can fall back as well. And it's not a negative. It's not like, oh, this person's out, he's not into me. No, just match that energy. It also saves you from that disappointment, and it also saves you from that high expectation that we can put on something new, especially ladies and men, if we are interested in the person, or we like the person a lot, or we think that it's going well. We can tend to do a little bit much. So you just want to be mindful of what you're putting in comparison to what the other person's putting in. So you want to kind of balance that out so it can be kind of harmonious. So give the same energy. Another way, again, to kind of overcome not feeling or being good enough for the person is stop the negative self-talk with yourself, the doubt. Like me, for example, I'm like, oh, what is he doing? He didn't call me today. Well, maybe he's working. It's something very simple. But people who, again, when you like somebody and you're interested and you want to hear more of them, or you like spending time with them, men and women alike, we can tend to do a little bit much. So just kind of, again, back up a little bit, give the space, create the space to where you can match that same energy. That way you're not overdoing it. You're not overly compensating for time and attention. It gets to look a little needy, so taper down. Remember, you're getting to know this person. You're dating. And also a good tip is, if you are dating, I always suggest to date a couple of people. That way, if you do like one out of the three, let's just use that three as an example of a number of guys you might be dating. That way your attention is just not focused on just the one. Now one could be better than the other two, and that's okay. You just like that person a little better, and who knows, he or she may like you the same way, and you could be at the top of their dating list. However, don't overdo it again. Keep the balance there, match the energy. Also, here again, you want to watch for consistency. You want to watch for, patterns and behaviors. If you feel like you're doing too much, or if you have to question yourself if you're doing too much, chances are you are. We know when we're going overboard, or we know we're not giving enough. So think about like for the guy that or girl that you not that into. They're cool, but it can go either way. And if it went south, you wouldn't really care. Think about how you're feeling about that towards the person that you do have the more interest in, and kind of match that. Don't be rude or anything like that, but kind of bring a little bit of that. You ain't all that, even though you may be thinking that the person is. Bring a little bit of mystery, a little bit of settledness to it. Like, don't treat them like a celebrity, basically. Be balanced out. Keep your peace. Have a little finesse with it, okay? And lastly, how to overcome rejection, because rejection was another one of my fears in my top 3 of dating and relationship. And again, it's very similar to not feeling good enough. But in rejection, again, rejection is not a negative. I tell you guys this. I've learned this, and I have a great understanding of it. He may just not be into you like you're into him. You're just not his fit. You're just not his type. You guys could have hit it off, could have been nice, some good chemistry going on, some similar things in common. But then a week or two, a month, not so much, or somebody else he's just a little bit more interested in that fits what he or she is looking for more than you. Don't get bent out of shape over that. It is okay. You're just not the right fit for him or her. Okay, let's not go crying about it. Recognize that and accept that. There's no reason to get upset, frustrated over that. We live in America. It's billions of people here. Trust me, your Mrs. Right or Mr. Right, he's out there. She's out there. Another thing is, when you feel like you can't meet the standard, it's okay. It just goes back to you don't have what they're looking for. So you don't have to worry about doing more, because you probably would never meet their standard. If you're not what they expect, or if you're not their flavor, or what they like, or what they're looking for, that's just, it is what it is. Same thing with you. Think about yourself. Again, when you've had guys or girls that you just not that into, and they tried to meet the standard, and there was nothing that they did wrong, you just chose differently. It's okay. The last thing with rejection, once you come to the realization of rejection is not a negative, and you just wasn't the right fit, the right match for this person once you guys start to date and hang out or whatever, move on. It is okay. Nobody's mad, or should not be mad. Nobody should be angry. Move on. Like, literally, that's the past. Move on. Because what you could be doing is just to stay in something like that. You're going to set yourself up for disappointment. You're going to set yourself up for heartbreak and heartache. So avoid that. Those types of things are preventable. And here again, you are the right fit, right match for someone out there. Know that. Again, know your worth, understand your value, what you contribute to any relationship, friendship, partnership, business partnership, okay? So those are the top 3 ways some ways for the top 3 fears to combat them, to address them, and to begin to overcome them. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, like always, leave me some feedback. Tell me what you think. Tell me your top 3 fears and how you have overcome them. I love to hear it. And you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Shelly D. Cotton, that is with a C. Or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Michelle Cotton.